bank account balance is an illusion? What if the crushing weight of debt, the sleepless nights over bills, the cold sweat when the market tanks, what if none of this has the power to define you, to break you, to touch the core of who you truly are? What if financial stress isn't a monster lurking in your closet, but a shadow cast by your own fears, a shadow you hold the lamp to dispel? My friends, welcome to Eastern Stoicism. I'm your name person. Today, we're not scraping the surface with quick budgeting tips or get-rich-quick schemes. We're plunging into the depths, the profound, timeless depths of Stoic philosophy, forged in the crucibles of ancient Rome and Athens, and weaving it seamlessly with the serene, unshakable wisdom of the East. Our mission? To build within you an inner citadel so strong, so resilient, that no economic storm, no unexpected bill, no market crash can breach its walls. This is about achieving true sovereignty in the chaotic, often terrifying world of money. Stoicism isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about radical clarity. It's about wielding the razor-sharp distinction between what is truly yours to command, your judgments, your choices, your actions, your character, and what is not, the markets, the economy, your job title, the number in your account. Now, fuse that Stoic precision with the profound acceptance of Eastern thought, the Taoist art of flowing with reality, Wu Wei, the Buddhist understanding of impermanence, Anicca, and the liberation of non-attachment. What emerges is something extraordinary, a mindset where financial stress doesn't disappear, but loses its teeth, where you become the calm, unwavering eye of the hurricane. So, prepare for a journey. We'll stand with Seneca as he faced exile and the stripping away of his wealth, finding freedom in simplicity. We'll walk the battlefields with Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, ruling an empire on the brink while anchoring himself in virtue. We'll learn from Epictetus, who rose from the chains of slavery to teach true power lies within. We'll sit beside Lao Tzu by the ever-flowing river, understanding the power of yielding. We'll hear the Buddha under the Bodhi tree, revealing the root of suffering is craving and attachment, especially to external things like wealth. We will dissect your deepest financial fears with the unflinching logic of the Stoics, soothe their sting with the boundless equanimity of the East, and emerge not just with strategies, but with an unshakable inner freedom. This is the path of the Eastern Stoic sage, grounded, resilient, and truly free, regardless of the winds of fortune. Let's begin. Part 1. The nature of the beast. Understanding financial stress through Stoic and Eastern eyes. Let's get brutally honest. Financial stress feels real. It claws at your gut when the bills pile up. It whispers doubts in your ear when the market tumbles. It screams panic when unexpected expenses hit. It feels like a physical weight, a monster breathing down your neck. But what if I told you, right here, right now, that this monster is largely an illusion, a powerful illusion? Yes, but an illusion nonetheless? What if the true source of your suffering isn't the money itself, or the lack of it, but something happening entirely within your own mind? This, friends, is where ancient wisdom cuts through the modern noise. The Stoic diagnosis, external indifference, and the unshakable core. Our journey begins with Epictetus, the Stoic sage who rose from slavery. His words are our scalpel. Some things are within our power, while others are not. This is the dichotomy of control, the bedrock of Stoic resilience. Within our power, our judgments, our choices, our actions, our character, our prohairesis, our ruling faculty. Not within our power, Everything else, the economy, the stock market, interest rates, getting laid off, inheriting money, the price of gas, the value of our home, and yes, the exact number in our bank account. Stoics categorize these externals as indifference, adiaphora. They are called indifferent, not because they don't matter at all, but because they are indifferent to our ultimate good, living virtuously. They lack the inherent power to make us good or bad people. However, Stoics are practical. They further distinguish preferred indifference, proegmena, things like health, wealth, reputation, comfort. It's natural and rational to prefer having them if they align with virtue and nature. Losing them can present challenges. Dispreferred indifference, apoprogmena. Things like illness, poverty, bad reputation, discomfort. It's natural to prefer avoiding them if possible, without compromising virtue. Money, my friends, is the ultimate preferred indifferent. It is a tool, a useful tool, certainly. It can provide security, comfort, opportunity, the means to help others. But like any tool, a hammer, a scalpel, a car, its value and its moral weight come solely from how we use it and how we think about it. A hammer can build a house or commit murder. Money can fund education or fuel addiction. The tool itself is neutral. The Stoic asks, am I using this tool, money, wisely, courageously, justly, and with temperance? Or am I letting the lack or abundance of this tool dictate my inner state, my virtue? Why is financial stress so intense then? Enter Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The stress arises not primarily from the external event itself, the bill, the debt, the crash, but from our judgment about that event. We assent to the catastrophic thought. We tell ourselves, this bill means I'm a failure. This debt is insurmountable. This crash will ruin me forever. Without this money, I am worthless. That is the poison. That is where the suffering is brewed. We confuse the external indifferent money situation with an assault on our very being. We place our sense of security, worth, and happiness outside ourselves on something inherently unstable and beyond our full control. That is the recipe for profound, persistent anxiety. The Eastern Mirror: impermanence, non-attachment, and flowing with reality. Now, let's cross the philosophical divide and sit with the sages of the East. Their wisdom doesn't contradict Stoicism. It illuminates the same truth from a different, profoundly calming angle. First, the Buddha's core insight: anicca, impermanence. Everything in the conditioned world is in constant flux. Nothing lasts. Your wealth, your job, the market, your possessions, all are rising and falling, appearing and disappearing, like waves on the ocean. Clinging to anything impermanent as if it were permanent, as if it could provide lasting security or happiness, is the root of dukkha, suffering, dissatisfaction. This craving, this grasping, this attachment, tanha, is the source of the pain. Sound familiar? It's the Eastern counterpart to the Stoic false judgment about externals. The Buddha's solution? Not nihilism, but vairagya, non-attachment, dispassion. This isn't cold indifference or not caring. It's a profound shift in perspective, understanding the impermanent nature of things, and thus not basing your fundamental peace and identity upon them. You can use wealth skillfully, enjoy comforts, but your inner stability doesn't depend on them. When they change, as they inevitably will, the ground beneath your feet doesn't vanish. You observe the change with clarity, without the desperate grip of attachment. Non-attachment to wealth is freedom from the tyranny of wealth. Next, we turn to Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching, Wu Wei, effortless action. Wu Wei is often misunderstood as doing nothing. It's not. It's action that is in harmony with the natural flow of reality, the Tao. It's action without ego-driven struggle, force, or resistance against the way things are. Applied to finances, Wu Wei means not forcing outcomes, obsessively trying to control the uncontrollable market, or demanding life unfold exactly according to your financial plan creates immense friction and stress. Accepting the current reality, this isn't passive resignation. It's clear-eyed seeing. This is my financial situation right now. Acceptance is the starting point for wise, effective action within that reality. Fighting the reality, this shouldn't be happening, drains energy and creates suffering. Acting with spontaneity and adaptability, like water flowing around obstacles, the Eastern Stoic responds to financial challenges with flexibility, finding the path of least resistance that aligns with virtue, not rigidly clinging to a sinking ship. The root cause of suffering. A unified view, the judged story, and the clinging mind. So let's synthesize the view from the Agora and the mountain pass. Financial stress arises from a fundamental error in perception and relationship. The Stoic error, false judgment. We mistakenly believe that external financial conditions, preferred or dispreferred indifference, have the inherent power to harm or benefit our true self, our prohersis, our virtue. We assign catastrophic meanings to financial events that they do not inherently possess. Debt equals failure, market crash equals ruin, wealth equals worth. The Eastern error, attachment craving. We cling to wealth, or the idea of wealth, as a source of permanent security and identity, ignoring Aneka. We crave its presence and crave the absence of financial hardship, tanha. We resist the natural flow of financial reality, fighting Wu Wei, creating inner friction. In essence, we suffer because we weave a painful story around the financial facts and cling fiercely to that story as if it were absolute truth. The financial event is neutral. The story we tell ourselves about it, the judgment, the craving, the resistance, is where the suffering is born and nurtured. Vivid example, the market crash. Stoic clarity meets Eastern equanimity. Imagine two investors. Both wake up to news of a major global market crash. Their portfolios have lost 30% overnight. Investor A, trapped in the story. Their mind immediately assents to catastrophic judgments. This is a disaster. I'm ruined. All my hard work is gone. I'll never recover. What if it keeps falling? I'm such an idiot for investing. They feel physical panic, tight chest, sweating, dread. They crave for the loss to be undone. They cling desperately to the portfolio value they had. They rage against the market, the news, maybe themselves. They might make impulsive decisions, selling everything in panic or obsessively checking prices every minute. Their entire day, perhaps week, is consumed by suffering, rooted in their judgments and attachments. Investor B, the Eastern Stoic practitioner, they feel the initial jolt, the natural human reaction. But then they pause. They bring in the dichotomy of control. The market crashing? Not in my control. The value of my portfolio? Not in my direct control. My judgments about this event? My choices in response? My character? Totally within my control. They challenge the catastrophic story. Is this truly ruin, or is it a significant setback? Does this loss change my inherent worth? No. Does it erase my ability to act with wisdom and courage today? No. Simultaneously, they invoke Eastern wisdom. Anicca, all things rise and fall. This too is impermanent. Clinging to yesterday's value causes suffering. Wu Wei. The market moves like the ocean. Fighting this wave is futile. How can I flow with this reality? What action, if any, aligns with virtue now? They acknowledge the challenge, feel concern perhaps, but without the crushing panic. They assess the situation clearly, wisdom. They choose not to act impulsively, temperance. They may decide to hold firm based on long-term strategy, courage, or make a calculated adjustment, wisdom in action. Their inner citadel remains intact. The storm rages outside, but peace reigns within. The Eastern Stoic doesn't deny the reality of the crash. They deny its power to define them or destroy their inner peace. They see the financial stressor not as a monster, but as a challenging wave in the ocean of impermanent phenomena. They wield the Stoic distinction and the Eastern acceptance like a shield and a balm. This reframing, seeing financial stress as a product of internal judgments and attachments, not the external event itself, is the first crucial step towards liberation. It transfers the locus of control back inside you where it belongs. It empowers you. Because while you cannot always control the financial weather, you can always control how you prepare your inner vessel and navigate the storm. We've named the beast. We've seen its true nature. Now we arm ourselves. In the next part, we delve into the core Stoic virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and discover exactly how to wield them, infused with Eastern serenity, to master financial stress and build true, unassailable wealth. Part 2, the Stoic Toolkit, core virtues applied to finance, infused with Eastern serenity. All right, friends, we've unmasked the beast of financial stress, seeing it as a product of our judgments and attachments, not the external events themselves. Now, it's time to forge our armor and weapons. Stoicism provides the most potent psychological toolkit ever devised, the 4 cardinal virtues. These aren't abstract ideals. They are muscles to be trained, lenses to see reality clearly, and practical guides for action, especially with money. Let's wield them, blending each with Eastern wisdom for maximum power. A wisdom, Sophia de la Fratia, seeing financial reality with unclouded eyes. The Stoic foundation, wisdom is the master virtue. It's the ability to discern what is truly good, virtue, what is truly bad, vice, and what is indifferent, like money. It's seeing the world and your financial situation as it really is, free from the distortions of fear, greed, or social pressure. As Seneca hammered home, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Wisdom asks piercing questions. What is the true nature of money, a tool, and indifferent? What are my actual needs versus inflamed desires? Distinguishing necessity from luxury fueled by hedonic adaptation. What is within my control right now? My spending choices, my effort, my learning, not the market return. What is the long-term consequence of this financial decision, beyond immediate gratification? Eastern integration, prajna wu wei. Eastern wisdom sharpens this clarity. Prajna, Buddhist wisdom, sees the emptiness of inherent existence in wealth. It has no permanent, independent power to grant lasting security or happiness. This dissolves the illusion that acquiring more is the ultimate solution. Wu Wei, Taoist effortless action, guides us to align our financial actions with the natural flow of our life and resources, not against it. Wisdom means understanding the Tao of your finances, its currents, its limitations, its opportunities, and acting in harmony, not forcing unrealistic goals. Practical application. The Eastern Stoic Financial Audit. Clarity on needs versus wants. List all expenses for a month. Categorize ruthlessly. Survival needs, food, shelter, basic health care, true well-being needs, nutritious food, preventative health care, essential learning. comfortable wants, reliable transportation, reasonable leisure, inflamed desires, luxury brands, impulse buys, status-chasing expenses. Wisdom shines a light on where your money actually flows versus your stated values. This isn't about deprivation, it's about conscious alignment. The dichotomy drill. For each financial stressor, debt, low income, volatile investments, explicitly write down what aspects are not in my control, e.g., past decisions, market swings, employers' actions, global inflation. What aspects are in my control, e.g., my spending today, my effort to learn upskill, my negotiation for a raise, my choice to seek help, my attitude towards frugality. Eastern reflection. Meditate on the impermanence, Annika, of the not in control list. Can you release the frantic energy spent worrying about them? Channel that energy solely into the in control column. Assessing true value. Before any significant purchase or investment, ask, does this align with my core virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance? What real need does this serve? Or is it feeding a craving, tanha? What is the opportunity cost? What virtue-aligned goal am I sacrificing for this? Is this action in harmony with my financial Tao, Wu Wei, or am I forcing it? B. Courage, Andre Virya. Facing financial fear with steady resolve. The Stoic foundation. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action despite fear, guided by wisdom and justice. It's the strength to endure financial hardship, to make difficult choices like cutting expenses or leaving a toxic job, to speak honestly about money, and to venture into the unknown, like starting a business or investing. Epictetus, born a slave, defined it perfectly. Courage is the knowledge of what should be endured and what should not. For finances, this means enduring necessary discomfort for long-term virtue, but not enduring exploitation or actions that corrupt your character. Eastern integration, Virya samurai spirit. Virya, Buddhist energy effort, is the courageous, persistent effort needed to walk the path of liberation, including from financial delusion. It's the energy to practice mindfulness with money to face uncomfortable truths. The samurai spirit, Bushido, embodies facing adversity with calm resolve and honor. Courage in the Eastern Stoic sense is facing financial fears not with brute force, but with the calm, unwavering presence of a warrior meditator. It's the courage to be vulnerable, to admit mistakes, ask for help, or live simply without shame. Practical application. Building your financial resilience reserve, mental and practical. Premeditation malorum, premeditation of evils. The Eastern Stoic drill. Consciously visualize potential financial setbacks with wisdom and acceptance. Don't catastrophize. Rehearse your virtuous response. Scenario. Job loss. Visualize it happening. Feel the initial fear. Then apply wisdom. This is a dispreferred indifferent. My worth isn't tied to this job. What is in my control? Apply courage. I will update my resume action, network action, explore temporary work action. Manage expenses, temperance. I will endure this period with dignity. Apply Eastern acceptance, Anicca. This situation is impermanent. Wu Wei. I will flow with this challenge, adapting my skills. This mental rehearsal builds neural pathways for calm, effective action, reducing panic when crisis hits. Voluntary discomfort training applied. Purposefully practice frugality to build resilience and weaken the fear of lack. The needs-only week. Once a quarter, live spending money only on true survival needs for 1 week. Cook simple meals. Avoid non-essential purchases. Find free entertainment. Observe your thoughts. Craving, judgment, without acting on them. This proves you can endure and even find contentment with less, dismantling the terror of scarcity. It's Stoic ascesis meets Buddhist mindfulness of desire. The courageous money conversation. Identify one difficult money conversation you've avoided, e.g., asking for a raise, discussing debt with a partner, setting boundaries with family. Prepare using wisdom. Gather facts, know your worth, value, and justice. Aim for a fair outcome. Then act with courage. Schedule the talk. Speak honestly, calmly, anchored in your virtues. This builds the muscle of financial integrity. See justice. Money as a tool for connection and contribution. The Stoic foundation. Justice is about living in harmony with others and fulfilling our social role. It encompasses fairness, integrity, kindness, and our duty to the wider community. Cosmopolitanism. Applied to money, justice asks, am I earning this money fairly and ethically? Am I using it responsibly? Paying debts, honoring agreements. Am I contributing my fair share? Taxes, supporting family community. Is my spending harming others or the planet? Am I using wealth to help those in need? Philanthropy as rational benevolence, not ego. Cicero, influenced by Stoicism, argued true wealth includes the ability to be generous. Justice transforms money from a private possession to a social tool for oikeiosis, expanding our circle of care. Eastern integration, Dharma, Confucian Ren. Dharma, Hindu-Buddhist, signifies righteous duty, living in accordance with universal order and ethics. Using money according to your Dharma means aligning earnings and spending with your inherent nature and social responsibilities. Karma yoga is selfless action, using wealth as a tool for service without attachment to results. Confucian Ren, benevolence, emphasizes responsibility within relationships, using resources wisely to care for family and contribute to societal harmony. Justice, Eastern style, sees money as energy flowing through the web of life. Our use of it should nourish, not damage, the whole. Practical application, aligning money flow with virtue. The virtuous spending alignment check. Review your spending from the wisdom audit. Categorize not just by need, want, but by justice impact. Does this purchase support ethical businesses' workers? Does it cause harm, e.g., excessive environmental cost, supporting exploitative industries? Does it strengthen important relationships, e.g., quality time with family, supporting a friend's business? Does it allow me to contribute to causes aligned with my values? Adjust spending to increase justice-aligned flows. Conscious earning and investing. Scrutinize your income source. Does your work contribute positively? If not, can you transition? Courage, wisdom. Explore ethical investing, ESG SRI, aligning your capital with justice. Research companies' practices, environmental, social, governance, before investing. Let your money work for virtue. Strategic generosity, Don. Incorporate intentional giving into your budget. This isn't about grand gestures, but consistent, mindful giving aligned with justice. It could be supporting a local food bank, tipping service workers generously, especially when times are tough, donating skills time, pro bono work, microloans via platforms like Kiva. Giving reinforces the Stoic truth that money is a tool for social good, weakening attachment and cultivating abundance consciousness. Eastern view. It combats the scarcity mindset fueling much financial stress. D. Temperance, Sophrosane, Jidri, Sanyama Sanyam, mastering desire and consumption. The Stoic foundation, temperance is self-discipline, self-control, and moderation. It's the mastery over desires, impulses, and excess. Seneca warned relentlessly about hedonic adaptation, the tendency to quickly return to a baseline level of happiness after acquiring more, leading to an endless, stressful chase for more. Temperance asks, Do I own my possessions or do they own me? It's the virtue that allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without being enslaved by them. With money, it manifests as disciplined spending, saving, avoiding debt for frivolities, and resisting the siren song of consumerism and social comparison, keeping up with the Joneses. Eastern integration, sanyama, middle way, jizizu. Sanyama, yogic restraint, is control over the senses and mind, essential for overcoming craving. The Buddhist middle way avoids both extreme austerity and hedonistic indulgence, advocating for mindful consumption that supports well-being without fueling attachment. Jizu, Taoist knowing sufficiency, is perhaps the most powerful Eastern concept here. It's the deep contentment and peace found in having enough, not a fixed amount, but a state of mind appreciating what you have right now, free from the restless hunger for more. It's the antidote to hedonic adaptation. Practical application: the Eastern Stoic budget and consumption rituals, the enough meditation. Regularly practice mindfulness focusing on Jizu. Sit quietly. Bring to mind things you genuinely have enough of right now. Air to breathe, clean water, food for today, shelter, perhaps love, health, or simple abilities. Feel the visceral sense of sufficiency and safety in this moment. This rewires the brain's scarcity bias and weakens the compulsive drive for more that fuels financial stress. The temperance pause before spending. Institute a mandatory pause, e.g., 24 hours for items over X dollars, 10 minutes for smaller things, before any non-essential purchase. During the pause, breathe, center yourself, mindfulness. Apply wisdom. Is this a need or a want? What true value does it add? Apply temperance. Can I genuinely afford this without stress? Does it align with my long-term goals? Am I buying this to fill an emotional void or chase a fleeting feeling? Apply Jizu. Do I already have something similar? Is enough already present? Often, the desire passes. Designing a virtue-based budget. Move beyond traditional categories. Allocate funds based on supporting the virtues. Wisdom, learning, courses, books, financial planning tools. Courage, emergency fund contributions, career development, therapy, coaching to overcome money blocks. Justice, ethical purchases, charitable giving, fair wages for services. Temperance, savings goals, debt repayment, mindful consumption allowance. This budget framework ensures money actively builds your Eastern Stoic character and resilience, directly combating financial stress at its root. The synergy, virtues in concert. Remember, these virtues aren't isolated. They work together. Wisdom guides courage. You face fears based on reality, not recklessness. Justice tempers temperance. Discipline isn't miserliness. It frees resources for contribution. Courage enables justice, standing up for fair dealing. True financial mastery under stress emerges when all four virtues are cultivated simultaneously, infused with Eastern acceptance and flow. You now possess the foundational principles and practical drills. You understand how wisdom cuts through illusion, how courage faces fear, how justice directs resources for good, and how temperance masters desire. This is your core toolkit. But how do we make this a living, breathing practice, especially when the financial waves get rough? How do we weave Stoic discipline seamlessly with Eastern serenity in the heat of the moment? That's where we go next. Advanced synthesis, Stoic practices. Meet Eastern techniques for real-time financial resilience. Prepare to integrate Amor Fati with Wu Wei, journaling with koans, and memento mori with Anika. The journey deepens, and your inner citadel grows stronger. Part 3, Advanced Synthesis, Stoic Practices. Meet Eastern techniques for real-time financial resilience. Welcome back, fellow navigators of the inner seas. You now hold the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, infused with Eastern serenity. These are your foundational stones. But life, especially financial life, hits in real time. The unexpected bill arrives. The job offer falls through. The market plunges again. In these moments, theory isn't enough. We need integrated practices, psychological martial arts that fuse Stoic discipline with Eastern presence to respond with unshakable calm and clarity. This is where philosophy becomes lived power. Amor Fati, love of fate. Wu Wei, effortless action, embracing the financial uncontrollable. The Stoic practice, Amor Fati, Epictetus taught, do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy. Amor Fati is the radical acceptance and even love of one's fate, seeing every event, even disasters, as raw material for exercising virtue. It's not passive resignation, it's active engagement with reality as it is. The Eastern practice Wu Wei. Recall Lao Tzu, the Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. Wu Wei is action without ego-driven struggle, flowing with the current of reality like water, finding the path of least resistance that yields the greatest effect. Synthesis, the Eastern Stoic flow state. When financial disaster strikes, job loss, major expense, investment wipeout, acknowledge and accept Amor Fati. This has happened. This is my current financial reality. Fighting this fact is futile and creates suffering. Consciously drop resistance. This is not defeat, it's strategic realism. Release catastrophic judgment, Stoic wisdom. Challenge the story. Is this truly the end or a severe challenge? Does it destroy my capacity for virtue? No. Flow with the current, Wu Wei. Ask, given this new reality, what is the most natural, effective, virtue-aligned action I can take right now? Don't force the old plan. Adapt. Look for the opportunity within the constraint. Maybe it's simplifying drastically, temperance, upskilling urgently, courage, seeking community support, justice, or simply pausing to reassess with wisdom. Action emerges from acceptance, not panic. Example, losing a high-paying but toxic job, Amor Fati. This door closed. Wu Wei, flowing into a simpler lifestyle while retraining for more meaningful, if initially lower paid, work aligned with justice and wisdom. Discovering unexpected peace, Ji Zhu. The discipline of ascent plus mindfulness meditation, catching the poisonous thought. The Stoic practice, discipline of ascent, between an external event and your emotional reaction lies a split second, the space where you assent, agree, or withhold assent from an initial impression. Marcus Aurelius practiced constantly catching impressions like, this debt is unbearable, and asking, is this true? Is this helpful? Is this within the sphere of my virtue? Before assenting to its catastrophic meaning. The Eastern practice, mindfulness meditation. Buddhist Vipassana meditation trains moment-to-moment, non-judgmental awareness. You observe thoughts and feelings arise. Oh, there's the fear about the credit card bill, without getting swept away by them, seeing them as passing mental events, not absolute truths. Synthesis, the financial thought interceptor. When a stressful financial thought arises, I'll never retire. This bill will ruin me. Pause and notice, mindfulness. Ah, a financial fear has arisen. I feel tension in my chest. Simply observe it. Don't fight it. Don't believe it yet. Create space. Interrogate discipline of assent. Ask Stoic questions. Is this thought absolutely true? Often, it's an exaggeration. Does this thought serve wisdom, courage, justice, or temperance? Usually not. It fuels panic or paralysis. What aspect of this is actually within my control right now? Shift focus there. Release and reframe. Non-attachment wisdom. Acknowledge the thought is impermanent, anicca, not a command. Consciously choose not to assent to its catastrophic narrative. Reframe using virtue. This is a challenge requiring wisdom, planning, and courage action, not a verdict on my worth. Example, seeing a large medical bill. Mindfulness catches the panic, heart racing. Thought, we're finished. Discipline of assent. Is this true? No. We have insurance, savings options. Does panicking help? No. What's in my control? Calling the provider, exploring payment plans. Reframe. This requires wisdom, negotiation, and courage facing the conversation. Stoic evening review. Zen koan reflection. Deep processing. The Stoic practice evening review. Seneca and Epictetus advocated reviewing your day each night. Ask, where did I act according to virtue? Where did I fail? What financial judgments caused stress? How could I act more wisely, courageously, justly, temperately tomorrow? Focus on your judgments and actions. The Eastern practice. Zen koans, like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Are paradoxical riddles designed to shatter logical thinking and provoke direct insight into reality. They challenge ingrained assumptions. Synthesis, the Eastern Stoic deep dive. Dedicate 10 minutes nightly. Stoic review. Examine key financial moments of the day. Did my spending align with temperance? Did I face a financial fear with courage? Was my earning use of money just? Did wisdom guide my decisions? Be specific. Note successes and lapses without self-flagellation. Koan inquiry. Introduce a financial koan relevant to your struggle. Who is the master of money when the market crashes? Challenging the illusion of control. What is the true cost of a thing you crave? Exposing hidden attachments and impacts. Justice, temperance. If debt is empty, anicca, why does it feel so heavy? Exploring the gap between reality and judgment. Don't seek an intellectual answer. Hold the question. Let it work on your subconscious, dissolving rigid financial beliefs and revealing deeper truths about attachment and freedom. The review grounds you in action. The koan opens you to insight beyond thought. Memento mori, remember death. Anicca, impermanence. The liberating perspective. The Stoic practice. Memento mori. Stoics regularly contemplated their mortality. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Marcus Aurelius. This isn't morbid. It's a razor-sharp tool for prioritizing. It strips away trivialities, focusing you on what truly matters, living virtuously now. The Eastern practice, anicca, the Buddha's core teaching. All conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Everything arises and passes away. Your wealth, your debts, your very life. Clinging to the impermanent causes suffering. Synthesis, the ultimate financial priority check. When paralyzed by financial worry or chasing illusory security. Invoke memento mori. This financial stress, will I care about it on my deathbed? What will I care about? The love I shared? The integrity I lived? The peace I cultivated? This instantly shrinks financial anxieties, revealing their relative insignificance in the vast scope of a life well lived. Contemplate anicca. Look directly at the impermanence of your financial situation. This debt, this savings account, this job title, all are changing, moment by moment. None of this defines me. None of this lasts. Feel the release that comes from not needing to grasp the ungraspable. Example, obsessing over reaching a specific net worth for retirement. Memento mori. Will I regret not enjoying the journey more? Anicca. Even if I reach it, markets change, health changes. Refocus. How can I live virtuously and find peace today, regardless of the future number? This liberates energy for present moment action aligned with virtue. Case study, Maya, crushing debt to Eastern Stoic calm. Maya was drowning, 80 kale in student loans and credit card debt, minimum payments consuming half her income. Panic was constant. She applied the synthesis, Amor Fati plus Wu Wei. This debt is my reality. Fighting it is exhausting. How do I flow? She accepted a drastic budget, temperance, letting go of her old lifestyle fantasy. Discipline of ascent mindfulness. When the "I'm trapped forever" thought hit, she noticed the panic, challenged it. Is it true? No, I am making progress. What's controllable? This month's payment. And refocused on her debt snowball plan. Courage, wisdom. Evening review plus cone. Nightly, she reviewed spending. Did I resist that impulse buy? Yes, temperance win. And pondered, who owes the debt when the self is empty? This loosened her identification with being a debtor. Memento mori nica. During despair, she asked, on my deathbed, will I regret this debt? Or will I regret not finding moments of peace now? She saw the debt's impermanence. It would end, one way or another. This brought profound calm amidst the grind. Result? Maya paid off the debt faster than expected. More importantly, she transformed her relationship with money. Panic became occasional concern met with calm action. Scarcity became mindful sufficiency. She became the calm captain in her financial storm. This synthesis isn't magic, it's disciplined practice. It rewires your nervous system. Financial stressors become triggers not for panic, but for accessing a deeper reservoir of wisdom and peace. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the conscious author of your response. You now possess the complete Eastern Stoic framework for financial resilience. Understanding the beast. Part 1, wielding the core virtues, Part 2, and applying real-time fusion techniques, Part 3. But true mastery requires building a life around these principles. How do we translate this mindset into sustainable financial systems? Navigate consumerism, invest wisely, and communicate about money. That's our final frontier. Part 4, building your Eastern Stoic financial life. Practical systems for lasting freedom. The journey culminates. Your unshakable foundation awaits. Part 4, building your Eastern Stoic financial life. Practical systems for lasting freedom. Welcome back, fellow architects of inner sovereignty. We've journeyed far, unmasking the illusion of financial stress, forging our virtue toolkit, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, and mastering real-time synthesis techniques. Amor Fati plus Wu Wei, ascent mindfulness. Now, we lay the final stones. True freedom isn't just weathering storms. It's building a life, a financial ecosystem, rooted in Eastern Stoic principles. This is where philosophy becomes sustainable practice. Let's construct systems that nurture resilience and peace day by day. 1. Setting virtue-aligned financial goals, beyond the numbers game. Traditional goals scream, save $1 by 50, pay off debt in 3 years, double my income. They fixate on external outcomes, preferred indifference, often breeding stress when life inevitably diverges. The Eastern Stoic approach is radically different. The core shift. Ask first, what virtues do I want to cultivate through this financial journey? How do I want my relationship with money to feel? Your goals become vehicles for virtue, not just numerical targets. The framework. Wisdom goal. To deeply understand my true needs versus wants and make financial decisions from clarity, not fear or societal pressure. E.g., practice the monthly audit and dichotomy drill consistently. Courage goal. To build resilience by voluntarily embracing financial discomfort that strengthens my independence and reduces fear of lack. E.g., Complete 2 needs-only weeks per year. Have 1 difficult money conversation monthly. Justice goal: to ensure my earning, spending, and investing actively contribute to fairness, sustainability, and the well-being of others in my sphere. E.g., allocate 5% of income to ethical causes, giving. Audit supply chains of major purchases annually. Temperance goal: to cultivate deep contentment, jizu, with enough, reducing compulsive consumption and finding joy in simplicity. E.g., implement the temperance pause before all non-essential purchases. Reduce non-essential spending by 10% through mindful choice. The Eastern Stoic why. These goals focus on the internal transformation and process, which you control, making external outcomes, like the exact savings number, less stressful. If the market crashes, delaying your number, your wisdom in adapting, courage in persevering, justice in adjusting support, and temperance in finding sufficiency still mark profound success. You win by becoming who you aim to be. 2. The Eastern Stoic approach to investing. Mastering the inner game. Investing is often a pressure cooker of greed, fear, and obsession with uncontrollable outcomes. We reframe it as advanced virtue training, wisdom in action, know thyself and thy risk. Honestly assess your risk tolerance, not just financially, but emotionally. Can you watch a 30% drop without assenting to panic? If not, your portfolio likely needs more temperance, conservatism. Understand the Tao of the market. Accept its inherent impermanence, anicca, and unpredictability, wu wei. Study fundamentals, but release attachment to short-term predictions or beating the market. Focus on the process of disciplined, long-term investing aligned with justice, ESG, SRI where possible. Courage in the arena. Voluntary discomfort applied. Dollar cost average consistently, especially during downturns. Amor Fati for the market. This is courage, acting wisely when fear screams sell. Premeditatio malorum for portfolios. Visualize significant drops. Rehearse your response. This is within the nature of markets, anicca. My plan is long-term. I control my reaction, ascent. I stay the course, courage. Justice through capital. Intentional allocation. Research companies, funds. Do their practices align with justice, environmental stewardship, fair labor, good governance? Let your capital vote for the world you want, karma yoga with money. Avoid harm. Scrutinize investments for involvement in exploitation, pollution, or unsustainable practices. Temperance here means restraining the urge for maximum return if it conflicts with justice. Temperance in expectations. Combat greed, loba. Reject get-rich-quick schemes. They violate wisdom and inflame desire. Embrace realistic long-term growth expectations. Zoo with investing. Limit checking obsession. Constantly watching portfolio values fuels attachment and emotional roller coasters. Set specific, infrequent times to review, e.g. quarterly. Practice non-attachment, vairagya, in between. The portfolio exists, it changes. I need not cling to its daily form. Case study, David, the calm investor. David automated monthly contributions to a diversified ethical ETF portfolio, Justice Temperance. He visualized 50% drops during setup, courage via premeditatio malorum. He checks quarterly, focusing on whether his contributions are consistent, action within control, and the fund's ethics still align, justice. During the 2022 crash, he felt concern, natural, but recalled his preparation, saw the drop as impermanent, anicca, and did nothing rash. His inner peace remained intact. His focus was on the virtuous process, not the uncontrollable outcome. 3. Taming the beasts, consumerism and social comparison. Our world screams, buy more, newer, faster, you deserve it. Look what they have. This is the antithesis of Eastern Stoicism. Here's your armor, Stoic shield, dichotomy of control, virtue, focus. Control check. Do I control others' possessions or opinions? No. Do I control my desires and choices? Yes. Virtue interrogation. Before a purchase triggered by envy or ads, does this serve wisdom, true need, justice, ethical source, temperance, within means, simplicity, or just feed comparison, vice? Memento mori reminder. Will this item matter at life's end? Or will the time, money, resources spent pursuing things be regretted when I recall missed moments of presence, connection, or virtue? Eastern sword, non-attachment mindfulness jizu, mindfulness of craving. When envy or desire flares, notice it physically and mentally. Comparison arising. Tightness in chest, thought, I need that to be happy, accepted. Observe without feeding it. Enika on objects. See the desired item as already decaying, impermanent. Its novelty will fade. Hedonic adaptation. Does clinging to its current shiny form make sense? Cultivate jizu, knowing sufficiency. Practice daily gratitude for what you already have that truly sustains you. Feel the fullness of enough. This starves the comparison beast. Their new car is impermanent. My peace, cultivated through virtue, is true wealth. Simplify flow. Declutter physically and digitally. Unfollow triggers. Let simplicity create space for peace. Resistance to consumerism decreases when you aren't constantly bombarded. 4. Communicating about money. Stoic calm, Eastern compassion. Money talks strain relationships. Apply your virtues, wisdom. First, before a difficult conversation, budgeting with partner, loan to family, salary negotiation, clarify your goals and boundaries. Virtue aligned. Gather facts. Understand their perspective, potential fears, wisdom. Courage to initiate. Don't avoid. Schedule the talk. State your intention clearly. I want us to find a solution that feels fair and supportive. Justice. Justice as compass. Focus on fairness, mutual well-being, and keeping agreements. Avoid blame. Use I statements. I feel stressed when we exceed the dining budget. Can we explore ways to enjoy time together that align with our temperance goal? Temperance in emotion. Manage your reactions. If anger, fear arises, pause. Breathe. Mindfulness. Withhold assent from catastrophic thoughts. This means they don't care. Choose calm, measured words. Eastern compassion, karuna. Recognize money fears run deep. Listen actively. Try to understand their money story and attachments without judgment. Offer solutions that acknowledge their needs while respecting your boundaries. Wu Wei, finding the harmonious flow. I understand this loan feels urgent to you. My justice goal requires me to lend only what I can afford without resentment. Can we explore other resources together? 5. Sustainable rituals. Weaving philosophy into daily life. Lasting freedom requires embedding practice. Morning anchoring. Stoic. Recall the dichotomy of control. Set intention. Today, I focus my energy solely on my judgments, choices, and actions with money. Eastern. Brief Jizu meditation. Feel gratitude for 3 basic things you have enough of. Set Wu Wei intention. I flow with financial realities today, acting wisely without force. The temperance pause, ongoing. Make the pre-spending interrogation ritual automatic. Weekly review, 15 mins. Quick check, spending aligned with virtues audit? Progress on virtue goals? 1 courageous action taken? 1 justice action? Moments of Jizu noticed? Monthly deep dive, 30 to 60 mins. Full financial audit plus virtue assessment. Revisit goals. Practice premeditation malorum for upcoming month. Quarterly retreat, half day. Review investments, calmly. Reflect deeply using a koan. Reconnect with your why, the inner freedom driving this journey. Adjust systems as needed. Wisdom in wu-wei flow. The Eastern Stoic financial life is not about deprivation. It's about profound liberation. It's trading the exhausting chase of external validation and illusory security for the unshakable inner wealth of virtue and peace. You become the gardener, tending the seeds of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, watered by Eastern acceptance and flow. The harvest? A life where money serves you as a useful tool, not a tyrannical master. A life where financial storms pass, leaving your inner citadel stronger, your spirit calmer, your freedom undeniable. You now hold the complete map, from the depths of understanding to the heights of practical living. The philosophy is clear. The tools are sharpened. The systems are laid out. The only question remaining is transition seamlessly into the powerful conclusion and call to action you provided earlier. So, where do we stand now, fellow travelers? Through to the end with subscribe, like, comment requests. So where do we stand now, fellow travelers, on this path of Eastern Stoicism? We've navigated the turbulent seas of financial stress, guided by the twin stars of Stoic reason and Eastern serenity. We've held our fears up to the light and seen them for what they truly are. Not monsters, but phantoms born from misplaced judgments and attachments. We've learned that true wealth is not measured in stocks, bonds, or bank balances, but in the unassailable fortress of our inner character, our virtue, our peace. Seneca, stripped of his riches, taught us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. The Buddha illuminated the path. Suffering arises from clinging, from the desperate grasp at things that are inherently impermanent. Marcus Aurelius, bearing the weight of an empire, commanded himself, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Lao Tzu, witnessing the power of water, showed us strength in softness, in flowing with the currents of life, not raging against them. This, my friends, is the essence of Eastern Stoicism. The unwavering courage to act with Stoic virtue, anchored in the profound, unshakable peace of the East. Financial storms will come. Markets will rise and plummet. Bills will land on your doorstep. But you are no longer a leaf tossed in the gale. You are the captain. You understand the nature of the sea. You possess an ancient compass forged from the wisdom of ages and continents. You command your judgments. You choose your actions. You embody the virtues, wisdom to see reality clearly, courage to face the waves, justice in your dealings, temperance in your desires. You flow with the Tao of your financial reality, not against it. Your worth, your essence, is inviolable, untouched by the ever-changing numbers of the external world. Your Eastern Stoic action starts now. Wield the dichotomy of control. Today, identify one financial worry gnawing at you. Ask with brutal honesty, what part of this is truly mine to control? Direct your energy, your focus, your action solely there. Consciously release the rest, the market movements, the opinions of others, the what-ifs. That release is your first act of freedom. Embrace mindful abundance. Before your very next purchase, pause. Take one deep, conscious breath. Ask, does this spending align with my core virtues? Does it serve a true need, nourish my well-being, or contribute to something greater? Or is it feeding a fleeting desire, a momentary craving born from fear or comparison? Choose with intention. Choose with virtue. Fortify your inner citadel. Dedicate just 5 minutes today and every day to strengthening your core. Practice the Stoic evening review. Reflect on your financial thoughts and actions. Were they wise, courageous, just, temperate, or sit in simple Eastern mindfulness? Observe your thoughts about money without judgment, letting them arise and pass like clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. Build this inner reserve. But your transformation doesn't end with this talk. This is merely the opening chapter. On Eastern Stoicism, we delve deeper every single week. We unpack ancient texts, apply this potent fusion of wisdom to modern financial dilemmas, and cultivate a community of resilient, peaceful warriors navigating life's complexities. Are you ready to make this unshakable Eastern Stoic mindset your permanent state of being? To transform financial anxiety from a tyrant into a teacher, a catalyst for your growth? Here is your call to action. Your declaration of inner sovereignty. Subscribe to Eastern Stoicism right now. Don't let the next wave of uncertainty hit you without the anchor of our next profound exploration. Join our growing tribe. Hit that red button and become part of a community committed to true freedom. Like this audio. That simple click tells YouTube's algorithm that this world needs deep, transformative content like this. It fuels our mission to bring ancient wisdom to modern lives. It helps others find this sanctuary. Turn on notifications. Ensure you never miss a live discussion, a new insight, or a practical exercise that could fundamentally shift your relationship with money and inner peace. Wisdom delivered straight to you. Comment below. Share with us, what is one financial stressor you are committing to viewing through the lens of Eastern Stoicism starting today? What virtue will you lean into? Your courage might be the beacon another lost traveler needs. Let's build this wisdom together. Remember, true freedom, freedom from fear, freedom from lack, freedom to live fully is forged within. Master your mind with Stoic discipline and Eastern calm. Master your money as a tool for virtue, not a source of suffering. Master your life. This is Eastern Stoicism. Be wise, be courageous, be just, be temperate, be at peace. Subscribe now. Your future self, calm, empowered, and free, awaits.